Yes, we're back for the World Cup. It's dealt with cricket, and our podcast is back. It's been far, far too long. I am Munners. I am the UK's premier cricket journalist. I'm joined by Tim. He's from Blackburn. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Munners. I'm really excited to be back here in a garden shed in North London. We've got a new studio set up.
We do. We've been very kindly given a space by Totteridge Mill Hillians Cricket Club, who I've been playing for on Saturdays, top of the Hearts Premier League.
It's a very posh name for a club.
It is, which a lot of people have asked how I've ended up there. And,
How have you ended up there?
I got asked, and I said yes, I'd love to come, and I'm here, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a fantastic club, winning games of cricket. The drinking culture is fantastic. The showering culture is awesome, and just a really good bunch of lads.
But we're not here to talk about you.
No, which makes me very uncomfortable. What are we here to talk about, Tim?
Let's talk about the World Cup, and this is why we're back. We're going to be doing little bits after every England game, really. We're not going to do every day because we've still got proper jobs. But every England game, we're going to try and bring you a little bit of something, have a little chat, enjoy the great World Cup that we had.
Yeah, and speaking of which, England versus Scotland.
Wash out.
Yeah, what's your opinion on what happened so far?
I have no opinion. I mean, first off, right, I have a big problem.
What's your problem, Tim?
Wouldn't you like to know? My biggest problem is that they've scheduled a World Cup, T20 World Cup, in the West Indies and the USA, during which it is the hurricane season in the West Indies. The hurricane season apparently runs in the West Indies from start of June to August, and the tournament kicked off, I think it was the start of June, wasn't it? So good. It's like basically saying we're going to have a T20 World Cup in England in February, but you know what? We're going to do it in the Lake District as well.
Yeah. I mean, on that, we have a tournament where they built cricket stadiums that never existed before, shipped in wickets from Adelaide, which, by the way, don't travel well. Everyone will tell you that. Adelaide wickets do not travel well.
Anything from Adelaide doesn't
It's true.
travel.
It's just like Guinness. As soon as it leaves Ireland, terrible. Just like Adelaide wickets. So we've now got terrible wickets in the USA. We're going to get low-scoring games, and on top of that, we're going to get loads of no results in the West Indies because they planned it bang in the middle of hurricane season. This is arguably some of the worst decision-making you've ever seen from the ICC. And considering also, they got to pick where every side played. They get to pick. There was no randomisation about those group stages whatsoever. India and Pakistan are playing in America. It makes sense. Why does it make sense? Full of expats. They're going to sell out stadiums. Of course, Ireland versus India in New York makes sense because half of New York claims to be Irish, the other half are probably Irish, and everyone else might be an India fan. So it's perfect decision making. And then everyone else, England, South Africa, Australia, anyone you think might buy a Sandals Beach Resort package holiday has been stuck in the West Indies in their worst season, hurricane season.
Do you remember the Australian tournament as well, the one that we won?
Yeah.
Well, they had that in October, so it rained the whole time as well.
Yeah.
So they've got previous.
There's no common sense. Oh, to be honest, Tim, all major tournaments should be held in England in July.
I actually agree with that. You know, we have fans from all over the world. We have great weather. Never rains in England. We'd never have a washout, ever. And England always do well there. So it should just be in England.
Should really, and that's why the World Test Championship is there. As much as people hate it, we invented the game. We've revolutionised white ball cricket. We are basically the only reason that cricket exists in the world. So why not keep bringing it back to the place of its birth? Yeah. And on that, England were about to lose to Scotland today.
We actually were, weren't we?
Genuinely, that was the perfect banana skin. It was going to be a horrible, horrible day out for England. I think I can't remember who exactly it was being interviewed by the BBC before by the very
Michael Leask,
confusingly voiced Henry Moran.
You got heartburn.
No, I just couldn't say his name.
It was Leask.
It was Leask. Yeah, Michael Leask, and he said, "Yeah, we want it to be a dog fight." That's what we want. We got dog fight.
I was listening to that interview as well, and I wanted to go to war with him. Like, no, not against him, with him. Me and Leesky, we were going over Hadrian's Wall.
You were running through a brick wall.
Yeah, I was singing "Flower of Scotland" top of my head.
Great anthem, by the way. Only written in the 70s.
Was it? What did they sing before that?
They just used to hold up a can of Iron Brew and yell "Scotland."
Scotland,
Scotland, Scotland.
Great anthem.
Yeah, great anthem, and bagpipes as well, which are always lovely to listen to. So anyway, England were on the verge of would have been a famous loss. We didn't take a wicket in 10 overs of cricket, and yes, there was a no ball from Mark Wood, but pretty inexcusable when you consider. No offence to Muncie and Jones, Michael Jones, who, by the way, classic Scotland, complete disregard for sustainable energy because they have so much oil, decided to take out a solar panel on top of one of the Kensington Oval roofs.
You could tell both of them were Scottish through and through, and they were brought up in Scottish cities like Oxford and Liverpool, where cricket is a big sport, and it was great to see the Scottish lads really taking it to the English.
Yeah, well, what they've done, which is very smart, is they've put a Scottish man on the microphone interviewing people beforehand, so they don't give away their secrets in the same way that other nations aren't so good at. Where, for instance, the Netherlands, they might put O'Dowd on the microphone, and he's going, "Oh yes, great game today, eh?" And you go, "Well, he's not Dutch." Apart from that one bloke with the glasses who bowls seam, who lives on the back of one of the cricket grounds in the Netherlands. I saw that.
Van Meekeren.
You know,
I like him.
Yeah, super player.
And he plays sexy cricket.
Sexy cricket, total
It's
cricket.
true though, isn't it? Even when like Sam Curran speaks, Sam Curran was born in Northampton, and he's got the most South African accent you've ever heard in your life.
I think it's one of those things.
We should stop wheeling him out.
I think it's one of those things where South African accent just becomes someone when you're playing cricket, because I think there's so much, like, especially about like club cricket and places like that and those sorts of spaces, it's very important to sort of protrude this idea that you are better than someone else at cricket, and that comes with a South African accent, because it literally doesn't matter. If I was going to explain to you now, Tim, I got a duck on the weekend, sounds sad, sounds very London, sounds very disappointing. If I went, I got a duck on the weekend, hey, but it wasn't my fault. It was umpire triggered me. Sounds dark, sounds brooding, sounds interesting. You sound terrifying. You sound like next week you're going to go and score 100.
You're not wrong, yeah.
So that's why people pick up a South African accent. Anyway, the reason why England were about to lose that game
I was wondering where we were off to.
wasn't because Scotland were excellent. I think we looked like we'd been on the Cockspur run for too long. We looked like we were going to come into that game thinking, all right, it's a funny day. Everyone knows it when you play cricket and you're not sure whether you're going to play or not because it's hurricane season. Everyone's used to that on a Saturday. You get to the ground, you think, how do I position my head mentally? How am I going to do this? You're not sure whether you're going to play, and then you go out, and then all of a sudden there's these two big Scottish lags just bashing you all around the ground. And it's confusing, and you don't understand what's going on. You keep jumping over balls like Moeen Allen did at extra cover. And then you take a wicket and you think, finally we're into this game, but it's off a no ball. And they just didn't stop. It was relentless. It was very impressive. And I think they probably would have gone on to win that game.
Medium paces as well.
Absolutely. This is what I said when Ireland beat us at the last World Cup. Minor sides like Scotland and Ireland are killing the game of cricket with that brand, because it's not proper cricket. People want to see 100-mile-an-hour, people ripping people's heads off, people turning it square. They don't want to see guys bowling medium paces, jagging it around a little bit, being like, oh, we're in a war cricket. No. It's an expression. It should be a happy place for people to bowl quick and hit the ball miles.
No ring fields, that's what I say. You should never, ever have a ring field. Even if it's doing well for you, you should have an in-out field or some slips. There should be some gaps for people to play shots.
Well, exactly. It's like how Australia killed cricket this summer by putting out a sweeper second ball to Zach Crawley.
How far? Oh, we're 10 minutes in and you're already talking about...
Well, listen, I watched the test.
Yeah.
And it's important that I touch on this because amazingly, I really went into it with that attitude that Australia were going to come out of this looking fantastic, looking like really great guys, and that they were hard done by the English press and all of the fans. And I came out of it just thinking, what a bunch of tossers. What an unbearable side they are. That's that side that were headbutting the rules of cricket for so many years and then were told to calm down, and then they got in the disciplinary of Justin Langer, and now they've been freed from that and they're allowed to be expressive again. Well, don't let them be expressive, because to be honest, they're not worth it. Pat Cummins, nice enough, but trust me when I say he doesn't come across well in that. It comes across petulant and childlike, particularly with the fact that people in 3/4 length cargo shorts who went to private school have said something like, "You're a disgrace," and he's coming to the changing room going, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. They were out of hand. They were despicable. No, they weren't. You just don't like it up yet.
My favourite. I laughed a lot through that TV show. I also laughed a lot through Attack on Wembley They're both very similar, in a sense that they were trying to portray the English crowd as like this raucous, horrible beast. And every time they sort of cut to the crowd, it was always a guy who sends emails for a living, wearing an England replica top from 2005, clapping over his head.
Good microphone craft.
You can tell I'm an amateur. Shouting, same old Aussies, always cheating.
And then the best one,
So intimidating.
The best one, it's like this tone, like we're watching a Michael Bay film as the coach pulls up to Birmingham, and it is exactly that. It's a bloke in a replica 90s England top, and they cut to Usman Khawaja going, mate, it was unbelievable. It was the worst atmosphere. It's a horrible place to play, and it's a bloke that Steve Smith walked past, and he goes, don't cry, Steve.
I was giggling a lot through it.
And look, maybe I've gone a little bit too harsh on Australia there, but
And also off topic.
yeah, sorry, but what I will, it was on my mind, Tim. I'm sorry, but what I will say is that I was disappointed by the reaction of the Australian team. I actually think in the last two series of the test they've come across quite well, and I don't mind them so much. It's just that I think what Amazon tried to do was make it look like it was the worst thing in their life that ever happened to them. I did enjoy also Marnus Labuschagne coming back into the changing room and explaining the story of what had happened with Bairstow in the long room, thinking he was going to get massive laughs from the lads when he retold it, but he absolutely massacred it. And everyone's just sitting there going, oh yeah, good one, Marnus. Cheers. Anyway, back to the World Cup.
No, I was going to say, I watched the Bairstow incident back on the test. I don't think we've actually talked about this. I'm going to come clean. I thought it was fucking hilarious. It was. It was like
funny.
looking back on it, away from the heat of the moment, away from the England. You know, you never know when Bairstow and Stokes are at the crease. England could win this. Oh, we're 2-0 down. You know, the dark clouds are over. We're going to get hammered in this. Watching it back, it's fucking hilarious, isn't it?
It's really funny, but also there's this lovely moment where Bairstow looks around really cluelessly, and love Bairstow, right? He's not fat, but he is like looks a little bit portly.
Just you be careful.
Yeah, I know. I'm a chubby boy, so yeah, right. But he looks around slightly cluelessly, and wondering what the fuck has just happened. And it just looks so quintessentially club cricket that he's in this moment. You know, there's that bloke in your club cricket side who has just got funny bones to look at, and he'll do something on a Saturday which most other people would do, and it wouldn't be that funny. But Bairstow looking around gormlessly, like, what he's doing, that is fucking gold. It's funny. It's properly funny.
Can I come clean as well?
Yeah.
So I did it to someone the other week.
Absolute disgrace.
To be fair, I've had it happen to me. And this is what I didn't understand with that whole debate, you know, like, that it was not necessarily like against the... I get it, it's grubby behaviour, it absolutely is grubby behaviour. But I didn't get this whole debate about, it's the English versus the Australians and stuff like that, way the game's gone. I remember it happened to me, someone did it to me down here in league cricket in Middlesex. And I've seen it happen to other people, like, I've played all over the country and stuff like that. It's grubby, but it's quite normal as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's nasty behaviour.
I think the important thing to remember about what triggered so many people, and certainly triggered me at the time of the Bairstow one, was it looked like end of over. It felt very end of over.
Yeah.
I don't think a club cricket umpire gives that out, but especially the one at square leg who'd already started walking to his mark.
And also, like, everything else that had gone before it with this Australian team, like, it's a lot of the people doing that were the same guys that, you know, ball tampered for years on end, basically. Got away with it until they got caught. And still, like, half the team is those same people who sort of, you know, ball tampering's more than grubby behaviour, so it's cheating. So I think there's probably, like, that reaction to it as well.
Yeah. But ball tampering is fine on the whole.
Yeah, as long as it's a Werther's original, it's in your pocket, and you just use that.
Yeah, I think a little bit of 1%ers here and there is fine. I think bringing industrial goods onto the ground to try and change the condition of the ball is a little bit different.
Where do you stand on a zipper?
Zipper, fine. I actually have some intel, Tim.
Yeah.
And a little bit tense telling you.
Careful. Are you going to drop anyone into it?
No, I won't say names.
Okay.
But I will tell you that a New Zealand cricketer used a helmet last summer to change the condition of the ball, and the New Zealand authorities were aware of it. But such is his deep-rooted nature in New Zealand cricket that he has not been punished.
They're nasty pieces of work, aren't they, the Kiwis?
Everyone thinks that they are.
Nice guys, but they're not.
They're not. Should we get back to the World Cup?
It's time for World Cup Willie's predictions. It's World Cup Willie. How does that song go? World Cup Willie's predictions. There we are. Tomorrow, Ireland play India in New York.
Ireland win.
Wow. Papua New Guinea versus Uganda.
Uganda win.
Australia versus Oman.
Oman looked strong the other night. Oman win.
Ali Al-Absi going to get something in. United States versus Pakistan.
Pakistan win.
Namibia and Scotland.
Visa masterclass. Namibia win.
Canada versus Ireland.
Ireland.
So some good predictions in there. So talk me through Ireland beating India.
So it's going to be on an imported Adelaide wicket, one of which that India will have no clue how to play on.
As they've never played out.
Never played it, but Ireland, with their rich history of minor cricket in the world and playing minnow tournaments, they are going to have experience on playing on dog shit wickets, and I think that'll show.
Okay, and then Oman getting the better of Australia. Talk me through that one.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. That's an incredibly arrogant and overrated Australian side coming into a tournament, and likelihood is that they'll start slow and probably get better towards the back end of the tournament, whereas Oman famously always weak in their first game and come strong in the second game.
That's World Cup Willie's predictions. It's World Cup Willie. It's World Cup Willie's predictions. Oh, that's not even the same tune as before.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Right, well, Tim,
Production levels in this.
Tim, would you like to play a game with me?
I would always like to play a game with you.
It's called Guess the Cricketer's Middle Name.
Woo!
I haven't written a theme tune for this one.
No. You want to sing it?
Yeah, I'll sing it. What's popular on TikTok at the moment? What song?
I doubt it.
Think you can guess cricketers' middle names? I doubt it. So I'll do that again. Think you can guess cricketers' middle names? I doubt it.
Something about like I don't know. You think Mark Wood's middle name's Ian? I doubt it.
Yeah. You think Margaret's middle name is Ian? I doubt it. So I have in my hand a publication called Wisden.
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 I've never seen one of these before.
No, these apparently are very popular with people who wear anoraks to cricket games and take Tesco's bag for life to the bus stop to stare at people every day.
Just alienating all our audience.
Not at all. Not at all. If you're here and you're listening, you might read Wisden, and that's fine because I do as well.
We actually like Wisden.
We do like Wisden. I'm only joking. Well, not about the anoraks. So we're going to play a game of guess the cricketer's middle name. And Tim, can you guess the cricketer's middle name? I doubt it. James Vince.
James Michael Vince.
Correct.
What a guess!
1 from 1.
How good is that?
David Warner.
What's an Australian name? David Lachlan Warner.
It's Andrew.
Andrew.
It's disappointing.
It's very
that he didn't
biblical,
pick up.
that, isn't it? Yeah, very biblical. From the Warners.
Christopher Wokes.
I feel like I know this. I feel like some people give him a middle name. William. Christopher William Wokes.
He is Christopher Roger.
Roger!
Roger Rokes.
Roger Binney.
Keaton Jennings.
Is dad called Ray or Pat Jennings? Who's Ray Jennings?
Pat Jennings played
Who's
football
Pat
for
Jennings?
Arsenal.
What was Keaton Jennings' dad called? Was it Ray Jennings?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Ray or Raymond.
It's Kent.
Kent!
Keaton Kent Jennings. Jofra Archer.
No middle name.
Chioki. Jofra Chioki Archer.
How am I going to get that one?
Ajmal Shazad.
Takia.
He doesn't have a middle name.
No!
Well done, Tim. You got some right, you got some wrong. But that is the magic of you think you can name his middle name. I doubt it. Well, that was fun, Tim. I enjoyed today. Yeah. It was nice to get talking again. And also, do all the right things, like, follow, share.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also just like to say that, you know, Dealt With has changed Munners, and he's not who he used to be. He's a changed man. He's wearing Birkenstocks.
I'm wearing Birks.
He's wearing Birkenstocks.
The
Would the Munners 4 years ago when Dealt With started have been wearing Birkenstocks? I don't think so.
I've never found comfort like it. And I don't understand it. And it scares me. And
You should be wearing, like, the Munners I know would be wearing, like, a horrible pair of, like, flip-flops, probably odd, that you've had for, like, 20 years, that, like, glued to your feet, taped up. But no, you've got a nice pair of Birkenstocks on.
I'm sorry to everyone I've affected with my fashion decisions over the years.
He's changed. You lot have changed him.
Thank you for your love and support. We'll see you soon on World Cup Willie and Tim's Dealt With Takeover.